Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this another episode of Growth Mindset Show. And this week, as you probably see the title, we are more focusing on AI. My name is Mahesh Chand. I'm your host. If you're joining me from YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or anywhere else, or live on CSharp TV, just post your comment, share your comment, and I want you to actually get involved in these shows, not just listen one way street, because I want to know if you're learning for anything from this. I want to know if I'm really helping, discussing these hot topics. And purpose of this show is really I want to bring the hot topics nobody's talking about. Companies like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, they're not going to talk about these topics, but we can. We are an independent community, right? We can talk about these hot topics. That in today's topic, that's why I pick a topic. Will AI steal your jobs, especially in IT? If you are in IT, um, we did discuss this topic last week a little bit. We spent a little bit time on this last week. If you joined me last week. But I want to add more to this. I want to spend more time on this. And the purpose of today is if you are in IT, AI is going to, especially Gen AI, generative AI, is going to impact your job a big time, a coming time. Okay. It's coming soon. I mean, right now, it's already here. And so while Pratap, welcome to the show. Bhaskar, welcome to the show. Uh, This is great. Thank you for having you back, guys. And ask questions. Everybody, ask questions because this is such a hot topic. We are at the this timeline here. We are at the kind of crisp of this, where the big AI innovation is happening everywhere around us. We like it or not, it's here. It's going to impact our jobs big time, especially if you are a software developer. And when I say software developer, it could be anybody who's involved in building software. You can be a computer science student, you can be a junior programmer, you can be a designer, you can be a developer, you can be a programmer, you can be even project manager. It's going to impact everybody. And that's where today I really want to talk about. It's going to be a Uh, we don't want to make it a big, long episode. We can keep it short. I want to take some questions, but I want you to start thinking about that. If you are in IT, what future holds for you, and what can you do? What can you do to make sure you have the continuous job, so you don't get in trouble? That's the kind of end goal with this talk. So I don't know if you know this and if you know from my social media, but I've been working with AI a lot these days. I'm writing actually a book on Copilot. And more I dig into this, it's while it's amazing what Copilot and Gen AI can do for you, it's also scary if you are in the job market. And it's very scary. It's not just scary, it's very scary. And the reason I'm saying is the amount of work GenAI can do for you in seconds that will take you to do days and weeks. Now I can do same thing in seconds. What does that mean? What does that really mean when I can do the same work in second? And you may say, "Oh, this is good. It's saving me time. It's making me more productive," which it is. Yeah, it's really. Don't take me wrong. It's really good. First of all, the benefit of AI, Gen AI, is already here. Means as a software builders and developers, we can do things much faster, right? We can also do things better. We can produce code better, and we can do a lot of things which we have to do, which requires time, a lot of time. For example, testing. automating testing, manual testing, writing documentation, commenting your code, understanding any existing projects. How many of you got involved? You joined a company and then you got into this already existing project and you don't know what the code does. So obviously somebody gives you Katie, but they just shows you what project is. Here, let's download your project from GitHub, go through the project and explain the code. Then you still have to go through the code yourself before you can start writing code and add new features and start typing your code. So make sure you don't break anything in there. How many times you have to do that? I bet most of us have gone through that. So that's where AI can help you. The Gen AI can now explain you the code. So that's what we're talking today here. So we're just going to cover a few things, how Gen AI, and I won't have too many slides today, just I'll have only 2 slides really. But more of this topic is to talk to you, to share some of the thoughts I'm thinking and how you can pretty much be safer side when it comes to jobs in coming time. As you may already know, the time of this show has changed. So we will continue this time, as long as we can. Everybody, welcome to the show. Atul is here, Gaurav is here. Um, and also, I think bunch of next few episodes are going to focus on Gen AI. So maybe even change the title of this show from growth mindset to around Gen AI or Copilot. We will bring that here. So let me spend more time on this on my next slides and how so this is somebody wrote there. So it's coming here. Will AI steal my job? I just touched on this a little bit last week. First of all, will AI steal my job? Yeah, that's it. That's one of the common questions. Welcome, Saravanan, joining from Tamil Nadu. Tushar, welcome from Delhi. Pravesh Gaurav, welcome. Um, Yeah, will AI steal my job? Let's see. Depends on why. You need to ask yourself what your job. Are you a content creator? Are you writing documents in your company? Are you a coder? Are you a software developer? Are you a project manager, architect? But this is fact right there on this steal. AI will not steal your job, but I guarantee you somebody will replace you who uses AI. So think about this. Because if somebody knows AI, that means they can do better job than you, much faster, much better, high quality. That means company is going to hire that person. Also, in coming time, the productivity will be so high that one person can do job which today 5 people will do. What does that mean? That means in coming time, there's going to be need of less software developers. So what happens when there is less need? Anybody? What happens when there is less need? Well, guess what? There's less jobs. So in reality, AI is definitely, it's not stealing your job. It is stealing your job. It's also actually killing your job because now there is a less number of jobs in the market. If there are less number of jobs and there are more people, what happens? Where companies have leverage now, they can even reduce your salaries. So this is a bigger impact than we are thinking it. We may think from the job side, and I'm not talking about the innovation side. I'm not talking about the productivity side. But for a second, let's just focus on the jobs. So in coming time, there is going to be a need of less number of people writing code. It's simple. And what does that mean? That means there's going to be less jobs. Number one. Number two, if there's less jobs, there's also going to be companies. They're looking for people who are doing more than just coding, because now coding can be done by AI. right? If coding can be done by AI, then why do I need to hire somebody? Well, there is still going to be problem. There's still going to be software needs to be built. So there's going to be more need of people because now AI can generate code faster. That means businesses can ask to build applications faster. That means there's going to be need of people who understand business. So if you ask me, okay, AI is going to impact my job, so what areas should I focus on then? Well, there's still going to be a lot of problems. There's still going to be build a lot of solutions. There's still going to be business needs. So you need to be better, I would say, communicator. You have to increase your skills outside of coding. You need to increase your skills. You need to become a better project manager, leader, uh, talk to people, understand business requirements, convert business requirements into functional requirements. So AI or software engineers team, they can convert, even yourself can convert those requirements into real applications. You need to learn prompting is, there's a word called prompt engineering, and simply writing AI prompts. There's two different things. People confuse that. There's a lot of articles, a lot of videos, a lot of content on prompt engineering. Oh, you have to become a prompt engineer to better use Gen AI. Prompt engineering is a more complex topic. Prompt engineering means understanding the integrals of prompt engineering, how to build this, how AI works. That's great. You can understand that, but you don't need to. For example, if you if you just bought a car, you want to drive a car, you don't really need to understand how car is built, how engine runs, do you? I don't. Unless you're curious about cars and you love cars and engines, and that's a different story. But to drive a car, you don't need to understand how car's engine is, burning gas or electric and just speeding up and how things are moving. I mean, you don't need all the, I still don't know all I care is, okay, here's a car, I'm in driving seat, how to switch the gear and stop and brake, and that's all I need. You agree with that? You guys can, you know, send me feedback in comments too if you agree with my points I'm making here. So when you think of prompting and prompt engineering, you don't need to really become an engineer. Smart people, your goal is not to really spend too much time understanding details in depth. Business, think about business. Always when you are building these software applications, always think about business point of view. All business care is they want is a solution. They don't care how it's built. They don't care who is building it. They don't care. All they care is we need a solution, we need faster and cheaper. Those are the three things you have to keep in mind if you want to become a better software developer. Solution, that has to be optimal solution. Obviously, if somebody's asking for a car to ride, you cannot give them a truck. You cannot also give them a train, right? If I'm asking for a bicycle, I'm a business, I'm saying I need a bicycle to ride from, point A to point B. You cannot just go and say, oh, we're going to build you a car for you, or we're going to build you a train for you. Number one, you are just still going to build a bicycle because that's what business wants. Plus, they want it faster and cheaper. Those three things are very important. Faster is important because business needs now. All businesses, and unless you are a company like Microsoft or Google who are building products for future, most businesses want these solutions for their current needs. Number one, when best ways to give them as soon as possible. Why? Because then they can move things fast, they can get things done faster. And number three, it has to be cheaper. If it's costlier more than what money business will make, what's the use of it? The the reason business wants this new software application so they can do things faster and save money and resources and help their customers. That's the end goal. That is the end goal of the software. So you can take advantage of that using AI, this Gen AI. And right now we're really more focusing on Gen AI because Gen AI is the one that writes content, code, and all that. So AI is in general is a big topic itself. So we don't really we are not including that AI in general AI, a big AI here in this. And or to become a Gen AI expert, you just need simple prompts. You don't need to become a prompt engineer. You don't need depth. All you need is a understand how effectively craft these prompt, which is simple English literally. In English with certain things. And the prompt becomes very important because AI understand prompt. For example, I'll give you another example. Okay. So I ask my son, for example, say, Neil, what did you eat? He could say, oh, I ate food. Well, that's very kind of, the answer is correct, but it's useless. Because what I'm trying to understand is what exactly you ate. So other answer will be, oh, I went to Chipotle, I bought a burrito, it has, veggie, I bought a bean burrito. All of a sudden, when you say it's a bean burrito, I know what's inside the bean burrito. So same thing, when you ask AI, hey, can you write me a simple, you know, make me a web page with a login screen. It will write simple login screen, what it will think is right based on what's most data is telling Gen AI, this LLM behind the scene is working. It's going to say, oh, give me the most popular in demand login screen. But if you tell the Gen AI, hey, I'm creating a login page for a bank, it must be secure and it's going to have three things, just user ID and password, but I want to make sure that user ID is an email with minimum of this length and the password is hidden and also cannot be copied. In a one click, I want to also have a some kind of captcha or other security mechanism. Build me a screen in, oh, and build me that in HTML5 with JavaScript and use C Sharp in the back end coding. Out of sudden, you are giving the whole context to AI. Now, this AI, this whole telling this AI what you want in depth and what AI should be building for, this is called prompting. And this is what you need to master. The crafting effective prompts is the key to get most and better solutions from this Gen AI. So that's where if you are a software developer today, you are a tester, you are a document content writer, document writer, you need to become better at this prompt writing these effective prompts. And there's a lot of content out there. You can go search on YouTube. There's so much out there. On CSharpCorner, I have written a detailed article on that. It breaks down that poem. A Gen AI prompt has six components to it. It's a context, it's a and then output and everything else in between. Like, so you read that, a simple article. You on it in that I explain that. Let me share. Maybe I can share that article link here. Um, Simon, maybe you can search effective prompts in C Sharp Corner in Google. You will find the link. Maybe you can share the link. So that's one thing I would do if you are worried about that AI will steal your job. You need to learn Gen AI much faster, which means Copilot. I'm sure you're using one of the IDEs to write your code. You're using either VS Code or Visual Studio or one of those third-party tools. And I think most of these major tools do support this Copilot. Copilot is there's two Copilots. One is Microsoft Copilot in general. One is GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot is specifically designed for programmers and developers, and it can be used within your IDE. I use GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio. I think I demoed this already, which I will be showing more in real life in my coming episodes on this show. So hopefully, so far so good, guys. I'm making sense here, right? Um, I'll tell you another example. One of my guy who's writing code. He writes a lot of code. He used to write a code, but recently one of our clients, new clients, ask us if we can do something in an Excel sheet. Excel sheet. What he wants is he want to automate some of the data coming from API and automatically filled in the Excel sheet, and he also wants to create a login screen within your Excel sheet, right? So to do that, you need a VBA, right? VBA is the in scripting and macros you can write in Excel to do certain things in coding. It uses Visual Basic Language. It's not even .NET. You can do in .NET VBA too. Um, so he didn't know. He's a C Sharp developer. He's a C Sharp, ASP.NET and Blazor developer. So he didn't know VBA. So he goes to ChatGPT or Copilot and get the whole code written and get the application built done in few hours. So that's the power of GenAI, and that's what you can take benefit from it. That you can also build now applications you don't know about, like coding. You can build. I can ask. I may not know Java, but I can ask my Copilot to write certain things in Java, right? I can write in React. Now I can build in React. I'm not a front end developer. Usually I never did that. I can do some things if I need to, but now I can do it. As long as I know how to compile my application, I can now literally write a full, complete React working application with the database behind the scene without writing a single line of code. So if you're watching this and you want to take a challenge on yourself, I want you to do is I want you to I want you to actually say, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself this week. I will build a complete application without writing any single line of code. So that's what how you will learn. So here's Gaurav says that I use GitHub Copilot in Android Studio, just integrated a plugin of Copilot. Yep, it gives Java code very solid, but it lacks good results in Kotlin and Compose. Yes. So that is one thing you need to be careful when using Gen AI. Gen AI is nothing, it just takes the old existing code, which is publicly available, usually on GitHub, and it just learn from that code and it gives you results from that. So I'll give you an example. That's the challenge with Gen AI you have to keep in mind. And that's where a human role play a major role. That's where you become the expert, right? That's why you cannot Gen AI should be just your assistant. It's not your master. It's your assistant. So you still are the master. You're still in the command seat, but it can save you a lot of time, especially for the code that is repetitive and which you have to rewrite and type. So yeah, you can get the code, less code it has, but it's over the time. Here's the Gaurav, here's the thing. Over time, it's gonna get improved. That's the thing with AI. It's gonna continue to get improved because there's not too many, as Simon said, there's not too many Kotlin repository there on GitHub, and Kotlin is obviously a little bit new. Plus, Kotlin people, they're not very open source guys. They don't really share their code a lot on public repositories. Yeah. So Renan did say, yes, I guess the demand of developers will reduce since the gain of productivity. Yes, that's exactly my point, Renan. The demand of number of people required to build the same application today versus tomorrow will change big time. And I'm saying it may not change overnight, but it's going to change by 80%. That means if I need 5 developers to build an application today, 2 years down the road or next year, I will only need one person. So that means the number of total number of people needed to build software will be very less overall in the world. But it doesn't mean that there's not bigger demand or newer demand coming out. There's going to be demand of other areas which Gen AI can't help. That's a good news. For that, you need to just keep learning newer technology. You need to keep upgrading yourself. For example, right now there's big demand for AI developers, AI engineers. Web3 is growing. There's data, newer technologies coming out. So Gen AI, what it's not good at it is about new technologies because it doesn't know. It only cares. Gen AI can only help you if it has lot of old previous data. Okay, that's what Gen AI good at it. Also, if GenAI is giving you some code, if you don't tell us exclusively, it will give you probably older code. So every time I get code from my Copilot, I always ask, "Hey, what version is it?" Sometimes it doesn't know that. Then I look at the code and I say, "This doesn't look good. Can you redo this? Test this for C Sharp 12 or whatever the language version you're working on it." You can also use Gemini. Google Gemini is much up to date compared to OpenAI. So sometimes you get latest data there compared to OpenAI. And I'm not sure really how long OpenAI going to take to catch up, but it's always 6 months or 8 months, 10 months behind. Yes. So far so good, guys. We'll take few more minutes. I think it's almost half an hour. This has been a good show. The reason I want to talk about this more is so you can now start thinking about it. So you can be ready for this. And AI may replace 300 million jobs. So Ritik says AI may replace 300 million jobs. That could be a big number overall in over years. That could be true. I'm sure some researchers have done that. Um, but yeah, more and more things get automated. I believe it. Overall, 300 million jobs around the globe. That's possible. Um, but it sounds very big number. But it'll be over time. It also means AI will also create a lot of new jobs. That means there's going to be need of people who can do newer things, right? So that's where, if you're worried about jobs, my first suggestion and advice really is keep learning newer things. Keep learning, keep upgrading yourself every day, every week, and you will have to not worry about this. So with that said, I think we will finish this episode. I think this is almost 30 minutes. If we have a couple of more questions, if you guys have any questions or feedback, we can talk a couple of more minutes, but this is good. That was my point with this, is to bring this show. So Simon says, I need to do something about my job. AI will be able to run StreamYard and create better videos soon. So I think that's the job, Simon, that AI can never replace. That is a very unique job. Like me talking here, I don't think AI can replace that. But yes, what you can do is you can create your own AI avatar which will learn about Simon, and while you're sleeping, it can do your job. That's coming. But it will never replace you. It will never replace human for certain things. And one of the things is these kind of jobs, like, um, so you can get your own avatar, train on your own model. It will learn about your habits. It will learn about how do you laugh, how do you share jokes, what becomes, and then it can run the show for you. And then people, you still be your IP. Nobody can steal that. I mean, maybe some. I saw that one of the videos somebody created from one of the actresses, and she is suing now OpenAI. So it's a challenging world, but again, it also brings a lot of new opportunities, right? I always see these new technologies as another new opportunity to do more things, build newer things. So as long as you're up to date, you're not one of the lazy developers who's like, yeah, I come here, I just come to my work and I'm supposed to do so I can get salary. Those people will be in trouble. That I can tell you now. People who just are doing this work because they just do to get salaries, not really their interest to learn newer things, getting better. They will be in trouble in coming time. So in other words, lazy people will not have jobs because of AI. Smarter people have more jobs. That's what's going to happen. So with that said, I will close this, guy. Thank you so much everybody for watching. I will see you next week again, same time, talking about more AI and bring more topics. Thank you.